button.
Oh, because yeah, jam that record button because otherwise I'm gonna talk about a prank call I got yesterday at Walmart.
All right, you perverts, we're streaming. Gosh, welcome back, guys. I think the internet picked up, right? Yeah, we got it. We are. But I gotta put this thing to my fan down so I can clap. Otherwise, I don't know how to start a video or any kind of game. Actually, welcome back to A Simple Job. It's our Pathfinder playtest all rogue game where we've picked up a third, that alchemist that we were so desperate to produce Silver Sheen en masse for us, because it's not going to be enough to have just Non to fight off the vampires. It's still the best. Anyway, as always, Josh, Jason, thank you guys so much for your support on Patreon. Levi, thank you for coming back from your, I don't know why I picked up my Demi-Lich again, but coming back from your holiday torpor to join us once again for some tabletop role-playing gaming. And again, Jason, thank you for stepping up to GM in the wide world of the internet after not GMing in a bajillion years and taking it in stride and doing as well as you did. And I really have nothing more to say to that. We're just going to dive right in. Jason, take us down to Travel Town.
Okay. Well, to quote Mr. Peabody, it's time to use the Wayback Machine for a moment. And Levi, your character.
Yes.
Can you give me a short little blurb, describe who you are and how you came to be in the wider universe?
When Mommy Elf and Daddy Elf love each other very much, he came to be in the wider universe.
Yeah, much total love. Not, street urchin. Totally had my parents.
Yes, well done.
It was great. They totally didn't die. Or whatever, I don't know. I gained my first memories at the orphanage. Wasn't told what happened to the parents, realistically. Worked from there to get enough to properly supply myself. Would definitely a bit of a pickpocket. Tried not to do too much. Eventually got to the point where I had someone who knew of alchemical crafting. I'm not a master at it or anything, but I know enough to get myself by. And with that, I worked to the point that I wouldn't have to steal anymore. I prefer not to if I don't have to, but it comes up. I have traveled, increasing my skill, definitely defending myself on the streets because I have nowhere I would really call home. And on the path of making money and surviving, I have been many places.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, so like I said, we're rolling back time a little bit. It's about a week prior to where the other two are. And you have just arrived off the boat and you are now in Caliphus, the capital of Ustalav. And what would be your first thoughts upon entering town?
I enter town. I would, first thing first, scope out the competition in the marketplace.
Okay. So for alchemical items or any...
Mostly how quality is the alchemical items in the area?
Well, depending on how much you're willing to spend, there is a magical university here in town.
Gotcha.
So yes, there is plenty, but from looking through the main markets, you can find everything from potions of cure light wounds, which are in alchemically formed diamond bottles with golden stoppers to stuff that looks like it was maybe made in someone's chamber pot.
Hmm.
Depending on how much money you're willing to spend, it appears that you can find pretty much anything you want to.
Gotcha. So, pretty hefty competition.
Yes, there's a large supply, but quality ranges the gamut. So,
Okay.
so if you want to produce very low quality, you're probably going to be able to sell it. If you produce reasonable quality, anyone who knows enough to know the difference will know that yours is better. At your level, there at the highest end, you're not even near competing. We're talking in meta terms. Some of these things are brewed by 19th and 20th level alchemists.
Yeah, and that's a full-on alchemist, not a rogue dabbling.
Yeah.
Good to know.
You will notice that there are a lot of alchemical, how do I say it? Lots of silver-based products, lots of old-time werewolf repellents, and this will protect you from vampires, and use this potion, drink it every day, and you will never be eaten by the undead.
Gotcha.
So there are some, shall we say, pseudo alchemical sellers out there too. Your little grannies from out in the middle of nowhere, sort of peasant superstitions.
Gotcha.
So basically, if you're looking to make things, it's going to boil down to what it is and how good are you at selling.
Okay. All right. Scope that out. Next job, find a place to sleep.
Okay, are you looking for
Lower end.
lower end? Okay. You can find a place which will provide you are you looking for a private room? Are you looking for just a place near the fire?
Probably a private room. I want them to at least
Okay.
have to open the door before they get to me.
Oh, fair enough. You find a smaller hostel near the waterfront. A lot of its patrons appear to be sailors or dock workers. Lots of transient population, so to speak. So the rooms are nice. There's a bar on the inside. It'll cost you 2 silver a night, but that does include a morning meal.
Okay.
And since most of their people are, like I said, dock workers, sailors, it's a fairly hearty morning meal. So I would say it's probably a pretty good value.
Yeah. And seeing as I'm a flighty, roguey elf, I probably don't need as much food. I'll probably, in the morning, stockpile the rest for later in the day. I'm fine with this.
Well, that'll work. Uh, and what are you looking to do now? You have...
So I've scoped out competition. I've got a solid place to stay for the night. Um, the so this is gonna mix meta with legit story in a way that I think works pretty nicely. Seeing
Okay.
as I see a lot of like silver prep and I see a lot of anti-undead, it would make sense while I'm here to work on prepping silver sheen and holy water.
Okay.
Seems like the sort of place that this city would buy up.
Yes, those you've seen a lot of that. How do I say this? You've both seen it in stock and you've seen it sell.
Yeah.
So, okay, anything else in particular? Admittedly, I haven't seen your equipment list yet, but do you, when you go out to get components, any place in particular, what end of the spectrum are you going to head for? Are you going to go to the area near the university, or
Oh,
are you...
I'm looking moderate. Like I want to know that what I'm buying is actually legit, but I don't need fancy stuff because like silver sheen and holy water are both pretty low grade things. I'm more in the mass production right now.
Okay.
I don't want to go to the lowest end because I want to be able to trust that when I make something, it'll work.
True. Okay. So as you get ready to head out on your day, you hear a couple of the dock workers talking to each other, saying that, saying something along the lines of, you know, there's been some murders in the capital of Lastwall, which is immediately to the west.
Okay.
And they're worried that this may have something to do with either one of the many cults or possibly trying to weaken Lastwall so the forces of the world wound can break through again. And the other one, and that, and you also hear someone snorting on the other end of the bar about some black marketeer who nearly got burned because he was evidently trying to smuggle religious items into Razmaran. So it just evidently there's a lot of strange things happening around us, or in the surrounding kingdoms right now. So if you're interested, you can pursue that, but otherwise, that's just some good background to give you an idea of what's, people in the city are a little more, they're noticing there's a lot going on in the world at the moment.
Yeah. Mm.
So, are you going to ask around to try to narrow your search, or are you going to search on yourself on foot
Um,
for a good source?
I think, yeah, I can ask around.
Okay, give me a society check, please.
Okay. Got a 19.
Okay, as you're going about, you stop of when you're talking to an older gentleman on the docks. He tells you of a number of, very, very middle to upper middle cost providers, well known for good quality product.
Hmm.
And they're up closer to the administrative part of the city. Here, I'll provide. Well, wait a second. It helps if I move. Well, I forget how to let y'all see what I'm looking at.
What you do is you go up to the top. If it's on a different map than where we are now, you go up to the
Yes.
top and then move the player's flag over.
Ah,
Yeah, you
I
did it.
thought. Yay! So the area he's describing is right about, oh, and of course it won't do that for me now because I wanted to. Yeah, we're
Gotcha.
right about there. As opposed to you being somewhere closer to this region. So, well, that being said, then he looks at you and says, or if you don't mind, second-hand products, you might want to talk to Merle.
Eyebrow raise of curiosity.
Okay, give me a sense motive, please.
Okay. And that currently is just perception, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
In the playtest, that's just a perception check.
Okay. Just double.
Okay, you don't sense any malice off of him at
Good.
all. He looks up at you and says, Missy, sometimes things fall off the back of a cart. Doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that they don't get where they were originally intended.
Of course, don't want them to get wasted and broken there.
Exactly. Now, if you go down to the 5th pier, the last building, his name's Merlin, but everyone calls him Merle. And he might be able to help you.
Good to hear.
Now go on, Missy. I'm hoping to have more customers here in a few minutes.
And much luck to you.
Thank you. So at this point, which direction do you plan to head?
Um, well, there's these perfectly good secondhand items that would just go to waste otherwise, and I think it is my duty to make sure everything is used up properly.
You know, strangely enough, I thought you might. So,
Debating that lawful side or lawful neutral because the law's boring sometimes. Anyway,
well, at this point, you can feel free to wander off and find Merle.
I think Merle and I will hit it off nicely.
You just might. You just might. So, as you go the rest of the way, you come to the end of the 5th pier and kind of little bit beaten and battered looking warehouse. But as you get closer, give me a perception check.
Okay, and I double checked and I'm expert in that, so I should have. I added the wrong modifier last. Okay, that's nice.
Yes, that is nice. First thing you notice is this building, you having some experience with alchemy, the wood has been treated with an alchemical fire retardant. It also looks like the building is much better structurally than it looks from the outside.
Okay.
It's almost as if someone has chosen for it to look a little down at the heels and dilapidated.
Gotcha. I wonder why.
There's no telling.
Yeah.
So at this point, you wander in. There's a halfling who is behind the counter. Looks at you. Yes, what can we do for you?
Why, hello. I was just looking for some supplies.
Oh, okay. What were you looking for?
Oh, mostly raw goods to the tune of silver, maybe some. I'm assuming holy symbols would be the sort of thing you'd use to craft holy water. I don't know.
That seems
Like, as a
as
player?
like a plausible the way to make it as anything.
Because I've got magical crafting, so I assume I can make it. I just don't know what supplies I'd use to do so.
I think that kind of depends on alignment. Anything from like having like a holy symbol and like using that as the pestle in the mortar, or like an evil character might take like an actual angel's blood to make holy water, and like anything in between.
Yeah, to be completely honest on that, I don't know.
I don't think there's like a rules as written answer so much as it's up to flavor.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Lillian totally knows what she needs, and she will ask for that.
Right. Yeah. And that works very well. Yes, I believe we have some. We've had some of these things come on hand recently. What in what quantities are you looking for?
Let's see. how much actual just spending money do I have again?
Goodness, I can't remember what.
50 gold
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
leveled, like 1/4, 2/3, a second, and 2/1, I think it was, and then 50 gold.
Okay. You have quite a bit, because I might be in the market for a lot.
Well, of course, we can always find more. Can you give me an idea of, is this more of you have a specific budget, or more of you have a specific amount you need?
I was thinking somewhere in the ballpark of 30 gold worth.
Really? I should probably let you speak to Merle. He's our foreman. One moment. He turns around. Hey, Merle. And you notice his voice changes as he says that.
Gotcha.
So he sounded much less the happy, stereotypical, I'm a halfling, to, a regular person. So, older gentleman comes out of the back, stained tunic, looks like he's been working in the back. Hey, what can I do for you, young lady?
Hi there, Merle. I was looking for some ingredients, somewhere to the tune of 30 gold.
Really? If you don't mind me asking, what do you need them for? I'm
Oh,
always into looking for business opportunities.
well, I saw that a lot of people worried about probably shapeshifters of some sort in the undead, was wanting to make some holy water and silver sheen.
Really? You Are you from the university? Your accent's a
No,
little off for that. No?
I'm I'm from around.
Okay.
Kind of a new person in town.
He just nods. Well, if you can make, silver sheen, uh, I'll tell you what. Uh, hmm. Here, here's what I can do. Yes, I'll sell you what you need today. But when you're finished, bring me back one of those vials of silver sheen. If it meets, if it's good, uh, tell you what, if it works there, I'll pay you, call it half the market value, and I'll provide you well, let's call it a third of the market value, and I'll provide the components for you.
Hmm. Seems fair enough.
You know, young miss, I think you and I might get along just very well. Okay. Well, you said looking to spend about 30 gold.
30 gold?
I can set you up for that. Go ahead and take a seat, and I'll have one of my boys put the box together and bring it back out to you.
Sounds great.
So with that, he wanders off back into the back, and in a few minutes, dock worker looking guy comes out with a crate with a number of items. As you look over them, I wouldn't say they are absolutely the highest quality, but go ahead and either give me a craft alchemy or give me a craft alchemy check. These may be more a case of when you're looking at things, it doesn't look as pretty, but they're reasonable quality. In fact, they're probably a little bit better quality than you would get at most places for the cost. So, with that, I've been looking through rules as written to find holy water, and I haven't seen it yet. But you have enough there to make, I figure you're looking for about half and half.
Yep.
You're looking at least enough to make 15 doses of silver sheen.
And holy water is 2 gold pieces.
Okay, so call it 15 and 15.
Sounds great by me.
So...
And you only wanted to try out the silver sheen, right?
That's what he mentioned.
Okay.
So at this point, I assume you're going to head on back to your room and start brewing?
That sounded mighty fine to me.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you want to try your hand at putting anything else together at the same time?
Not for now. I'm mostly working on the bulk to start up the money flow.
That's a good idea. Okay. Can you give me, we'll call it 3 craft alchemy checks.
Okay. Now, for this, I do have an expert kit for it as well.
Ah.
I didn't apply that to the check because that wouldn't help me know anything.
And it wouldn't be something you'd really be able to,
Like, I couldn't, take out the materials, weigh it in my kit.
Yes.
Okay. Just letting you know why the bonus changed. Okay.
Levi, this character is very good. Can I just say you've rolled nothing less than a 10 this whole time. Now I've jinxed you. But
well, you got to remember we haven't gotten to the actual main session of it, so I'm just getting all my luck out now, so that way I die horribly and have to come back with a new character.
Oh, of course, fair. Yeah, you're right.
I just thought it was because I'm GMing. So
You know, it just
Okay.
might be.
Just be the all-time GM. Congratulations, you just volunteered. Well done, because you gave us all good luck. And then the next
Okay.
2 rolls in the challenge will give you like 2-5.
in which case he can blame you.
Ah, damn it!
Oh.
Nope. Yeah, though. You,
Okay. 30 is a very good roll.
like critical success because 10 over DC, good roll.
Yes.
Nice.
Go ahead and give me another 2.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Should have copied this.
And this is the part where my mouth gets shut as I stare at roll 20. Come on. Orange Jesus, be good. Be good.
Okay.
Yeah, you see? I have spoken. Oh. Never mind.
I got 2 crits.
66% of the time, it works all the time.
2 out of 3 isn't bad.
2 out of 3
Yeah.
indeed ain't bad.
2 out of 3, and your nearest to fumble is not nearly a fumble. So,
I'm assuming he was 20.
yeah.
Okay. So just a failure.
So just
Slaying it.
1 failure. So I would say out of that, you were able to make, let's go, $15 silver sheen and 14 holy waters. And
Good
that
crits are
took you,
nice.
oh, I'm sorry. Add, and I will add D6 to each of those numbers. So you managed out of what looked about 15 worth of each of these, you managed to make 21 silver sheens and 18 holy water.
That's nice.
So good job.
I'm so glad we bought a pack pony, because otherwise the thing we wanted to fight vampires would certainly encumber us all. 21 holy waters.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm probably selling some of these. But...
Yeah, fair.
Okay. So that took you a couple days. So with that, so after you have these done up, what do you want to do?
Okay. I've got a fair bit of excess. I think Merle would love to see me.
Merle smiles when you come back into his shop. Says, "Yes, miss."
Actually, how much would it cost me to rent a cart to carry all this?
Call it. Are you feeling generous?
No.
Okay. 2 copper on a very shaky looking cart.
I will be ever so slightly generous and give them 3 copper.
3 copper will get everything there nice and safe.
Okay.
So you roll up with your entire inventory.
Yep.
Okay. Merle greets you. as he sees you moving the flasks out of the cart into the front section. Yes, miss.
So I've been productive lately.
It does appear as though you have.
You were specifically looking for some silver sheen last time I was here?
Yes. If you produce a good product, I'm more than willing to bring- uh now those over there don't necessarily look like silver sheen.
Well, I didn't know if you'd want to buy them or not. If you don't, I can find other places to sell them. But they do happen to be holy water.
Well, that being said, yeah, I'd buy one of each of those off of you just to make sure. You know how things are these days. There are those who are able to do good work, and there are those who are not.
Of course.
And it's nothing against you, Missy, but sometimes you just have to check for yourself.
You don't want to be finding snake oil when your life depends on it.
Exactly. Uh, tell you what, I'll pay you 35 silver for one of each combined, and I'll have my boys test these.
Okay.
And if they're good quality, we definitely can do business.
I look forward to it.
So he forks over 35 silver, rings a bell, talks to the runner who comes forward, and sends one each into the back. And he lets you know that it's going to be a couple hours to make sure, while they make sure everything is up to the quality they need. And he asks you, to have a seat. There's a nice, comfortable chair. And he goes into the back to supervise what's going on back there.
Okay. Now, while I'm sitting here, I'm definitely going to be taking time, scoping out his operation, seeing how I feel about the people around here. Like, how generally trustworthy, how skilled, that sort of thing.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Okay. And give me one more. You also said how skilled.
Sounds good.
Okay. Just from watching what you can, because you're not right up there by the front counter area anymore. So you're a little bit off to the side. But honestly, you really can't tell the difference between this and any other, import-export shop. Maybe there's a little more haggling that goes on initially, but
Okay.
on a scale of 1 to 10, these guys, as far as this operation, as you can tell, could be completely legitimate.
Interesting.
They really don't give you you don't get much of a sense other than they do business, and they tend to do a good bit of business. Now, maybe there does seem to be a little bit of a difference between most people who come in and those who deal directly with Merle.
Okay.
But again, all races, all socioeconomic groups, as far as you can tell, that's the one thing that just is a little unusual, is it appears to be a one-stop shop. So anyone at all might show up here.
Okay.
So Merle comes back out. It's been a couple hours. Well, young miss, you know what you're doing.
I like to think so.
I assume since you brought them here, you're looking to sell all of these?
That was the intent.
All right. Well, that being the case, and here's where the GM has a problem. I don't have a good way to judge how many days this took, so I'm just going to call it 3 days.
Okay.
Was how long this took. Well, given your time and the fact that you made these from your components, I'll tell you what, I'll pay you, I'll call it 17 silver apiece across the board. And if you're willing to make more for me, we'll go from there.
Okay. So let's see. How many do I have in total? I have 21 and 18, respectively.
Yes. Yes.
So if I do this, seven. Right, 17 silver apiece.
Yes.
Okay. That's productive for me. In the end, that would be 66.3 gold.
Right. So I assume that you're going to go ahead and sell.
I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah.
Okay. And the deal he will offer from there is he provides the components and will pay you, he said a third, but you do good work, so 8 silver, 8 silver per.
Okay. Slightly over
Oh.
a third. Makes sense.
Okay. He sends you away with enough components for 20 more units and says let him know when you have those done.
Okay.
Now, anything else you are going to want to make? I'm assuming that you have formula for even a number of other things like smoke sticks, alchemist fire, uh,
Like smoke sticks, some basic poison.
yeah. Is there anything else you're looking to produce? Acid flasks,
Let's see. I'll
antidotes.
probably. What would I? Probably. Maybe a little giant centipede venom.
No.
And maybe Tanglefoot bag on the side.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll roll. Okay. Are you going to get the components yourself for these, or are you going to?
Might as well just buy it from Merle while I'm here.
Okay. So, okay. How many Tanglefoot bags are you looking to do? I'm going by trying to figure out costs.
Gotcha. They normally cost
3.
then let's say 4.
Okay. So that would be 6 gold.
Seems reasonable.
And you said giant centipede venom.
That I did.
Again.
Let's go another 6 gold.
Okay. So you have roughly enough for 4 of each.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are just nice things to have on the side.
Okay. If you would roll me some craft checks. Okay.
And the luck remains Levi's evermore.
Yes.
I will gear you out. Believe in me.
Yeah.
Imagine if I had started this as just pure alchemist build.
Yeah, I know.
First.
It probably will all work out for the best.
Yeah.
Please give me 2 more rolls.
And make sure they're in the 30s.
Working on it.
Well, it's not a fumble, so we're good.
Oddly enough. 31 bad roll.
I mean, dang.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, and one last roll. craft
Gotcha.
alchemy as well.
All right.
Okay, not in the
Well,
30s, but
Close enough.
Still well enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the holy waters, you got, sorry, I'm rolling the dice for this.
you
So
are
I'm
all
going, and I'm just going to call it that. So you got 21.
Yet again.
Yes.
which is nice.
Levi, how far are you from Kansas City? Because maybe we need to go to the boat.
Kind of central Ohio.
Yeah. So that's like a 9-hour drive ish, maybe a little more. Leave now.
Sounds like a lot of effort.
Yeah, you went over. Never mind.
Got
You're bust.
okay, and you got 26 out of the silver sheen.
Okay.
Now you had one. Oh, of course. You got 3 Tanglefoot bags
How many?
and 3.
Okay.
That's what rolling a natural 2 will do for you.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
And 6 doses of centipede venom.
Not bad.
Just the way I roll, I know I'm going to have to find a way to kill you mercilessly. But
what does centipede venom do? I forget. I know it's like the first poison you can make. Because Octarian was looking at it
the
for a
main
little while.
it is a DC 14 Fortitude save, 6 rounds duration. Stage 1 is 1d4 poison, stage 2 1d6 poison, and flat-footed.
Oh, and flat-footed against a party of rogues. How wonderful! Yes.
And stage 3, which you will love even more, 1d8 poison damage, flat-footed, and sluggish.
Oh good. Oh good. Oh good. Oh good.
So
now it's got a low DC, so
yeah. We'll see.
but
if it works.
Yeah.
But okay. So
now, one thing I have to wonder while we're talking about it is in Legacy Pathfinder, if you are exposed to the same poison more than once, the DC increases. So, like, if this was in Legacy Pathfinder, it would start at 14, then you get hit with the second giant centipede venom, it would be DC 16, 18, right? I have no idea if that tracks here. I'm going to look that up. Don't let me hold up the game or nothing.
no, don't.
I think it makes you make another save against it, and if you fail it, it goes along the same track.
Yes, that's right. It takes the current one and moves it up. Yeah. You got it.
Okay. So you go ahead and make all these back up. You head back to Merle. Sell 7 apiece. 7 silver apiece gives you let's see, 19, 26, 50, 55. So 55 times 7, 35, 35, 38 gold and 5 silver.
Cool.
Not bad for 4 days' work.
I am feeling productive.
Okay. he'll put in a order for another 20 of each. Anything else you want to put together?
I think I'm going to get some supplies just for me to have some of my own. For some reason, people are buying so much of the stuff.
Roll either. I wanted to say knowledge local. That'd fall under society.
All right, let me just double check my society check. Okay.
You hear a lot as you ask around. You hear a lot of the upper crust people buying this make snide comments about the peasants and the hinterlands all saying they're werewolves and vampires and possibly even vampires and members of the local aristocracy, and they're Dampiers and changelings and all sorts of strange evils that lurk in the recesses of the land. Of course, such things are completely, ridiculous, and I'll take another 2 silver sheen. So,
As you do.
so that's sort of the vibe you get. Now, I need you to roll me a flat D20.
Okay. Ooh, not lucky.
Okay. This is a day after you've gotten your new set of supplies in, but you really haven't gotten ready to start to go into full bore production. You're in the market. You've decided you wanted something other than the fare at the inn.
Fair enough.
And as you're in the middle of the market, a child, young human, who knows, a little bit shorter than you, but not all that much, just almost runs through you. And disappears among the things.
Checking pockets.
Nothing appears to be missing. However, you do see a commotion a little further up. And then you see an irate human man, middle-aged, a little bit portly, point straight at you and yell, "Thief!" What do you do?
That is... Well, 2 main options are to either try and convince people I am upstanding, I've not stolen anything. Oh, I checked myself. Did I feel anything new?
No.
Okay. However, I think I'm good enough at it that I could probably just point right at me. I will try and duck away and take a strange path around the city to not be followed.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check.
Not amazing.
Not amazing.
But I also have a 35 movement speed.
Okay. Uh,
And since in the playtest now humans have a move speed of 25, that makes Lillian quite fast.
yes, it does. However, as you begin to run, you notice that uh, it's not just one person. It's a mob. And they're not all behind you. You see other people, and they're all shouting, "Catch the thief, she's in the gray coat. Look at her, she's an elf," etc., etc.
Yeah.
So,
And the fact that there exists a mob is why I thought talking might not be the smartest.
okay, give
Um,
me
Instead of a stealth check for this one, can I try to, are there any lower roofs?
y- yes, it's mostly stalls until you get out towards the edge of the market. So
Gotcha.
some of them are wood. Every so often there's ones that are fabric canopies only. It is definitely an option.
Well, because I'm also pretty alright at acrobatics, and I was thinking with the light and flighty elf hopping up onto roofs so that way I didn't have to run through people.
That sounds good. Roll me call it an athletics check to get up, and acrobatics to keep moving
Okay.
at speed.
Alright. Athletics is not as great. Here's for hoping. Oh,
RNG giveth and RNG taketh away.
Well, as you jump up slightly, grabbing the edge of a wooden roof over one of the stalls, you pull up as you hear footsteps behind you, and right as you're almost up, you hear a snapping sound as the boards your hands are on break. And you fall back to the street. I'll be a good GM. Pick one or two.
let's go to.
Okay. You suffer no points of falling damage.
That's nice.
That's because people caught you before you hit the ground.
Okay, I see. That's interesting balance there.
That is much better than I had thought. Perhaps pick one or two. You suffer no falling damage because 2 is what you landed in instead of 1. But well done.
No, this is a very clean and sophisticated city. Just ask them.
No, yes, of
They
course.
they don't believe in vampires or other things past the garlic.
Yeah. It's just Italy.
But the crowd that has you, the people that have you put your arms behind your back, it's clear that they are going, with, the occasional, the one in the back yelling, "We've caught her." Are you going to try to break free, or are you going to be caught?
Well, I think Like, are they like putting handcuffs on me or something?
Uh, they're holding you, and one of them is starting to use like a rope. Uh,
Rope. That's
what
less fun.
would okay? Give me a perception check.
Gotcha.
Okay. One thing you are noticing is they're not just calling for random people. They're calling for the guard, the city guard.
Gotcha.
So
So right now I'm just at random people, right? Like I'm just at the people in the stalls and whatnot. The city guard has not
yes,
gotten here, but they want the city guard here.
as the people who have you are not in the uniform of the city guard. They appear to be other merchants or attached personnel. People who work as porters who otherwise work in the market. That was part of the reason you hadn't been getting so far, is because, people were intentionally getting in your way.
Yeah.
To slow you down.
Let's see. There's probably still a fair number of people behind the ones directly behind me, right?
Yes. There appears to be a crowd around you now.
Okay. I am currently of the opinion that any active escape from here would probably more lead to me getting beaten down. So, because I don't think I could actually get out from here. Unless I could acrobatics and run on top of their heads. Which would be funny, but...
Which would be funny, and there are plenty... If you seriously decided to do that, you probably could run a good 50, 60 feet before you ran out of people's heads to step on.
Yeah, and for how long that would last versus someone grabbing my foot or something.
Well, that distance is increasing with every moment because there are lots of people gathering around.
Okay, so what I would like to do in this instance is attempt to, while I would like more or less let my arms get tied, I want to do one of those things where they can set themselves up so they can like change their muscles to let it out easier. So it's not tied as tightly as the people think it's tied.
Okay, I forget, is escape artist still a thing?
From what I understand, acrobatics is the only escape artist.
Yeah, it falls under acrobatics. Or athletics, I think.
Give me an acrobatics check.
Not too bad. But
okay. Yeah. As you're being secured, you tense some muscles, and whenever you feel that when it's time for you to get out, you should be able to get a little bit extra room to wiggle.
makes enough sense.
And a minute or so has gone by, and members of the city guard show up. Now, one thing you will notice is this hasn't been a bloodthirsty mob, so to speak.
Which is nice.
But whoever they were looking for, definitely everyone was looking for. So at this point, you are handed over to the guard. Do you try to say anything to them?
I've been falsely accused.
Isn't everyone? And they walk you up, and they're walking you up to the citadel at the which is at the top of the picture of the town.
Gotcha. Is the mob still following the people?
No.
Okay. How many guards have me currently?
Currently, there are 4 guards, and in addition to the ropes, they have a chain tied around your waist,
Gotcha.
and one of them has placed a spiked collar on you.
Intriguing.
And that's not what some people would think with the spikes pointed out. It's with
yeah, no, it's pointed in.
Yes.
It's if you move, I can gore your neck.
Yes. So when you get up to the citadel, as you walk in or are brought in, there's kind of, for lack of a better station, they bring you into the old city guard station, and as you walk in, you notice that one of the people in the room is not in the uniform of the guard. He's an older gentleman in robes. Give me a perception check.
Cool. Hey.
Okay. Quick analysis of the patterns on his robe and the symbols stitched into them. He is at least wearing the marks you've seen on the instructors from the wizarding school here in town.
Gotcha.
And I need you to roll me a will save.
Double check that. I think it's the same. Oh, better. $18.
And as you watch, suddenly the symbols on his clothing seem to shimmer and shift. And you feel very, very unconscious.
Gotcha.
And just to confirm, you are half elven or full elven?
Full elf.
You're full elven? Okay.
Yeah, elves are not
Yeah.
intrinsically immune to sleep and stuff anymore. They can take unwavering mien, I think it is.
Yeah.
As an ancestry feat.
Right. Okay. Need to set the stage for just a moment. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. It was nowhere near as good as I thought it'd be. Damn it, I've ruined everything.
It happens.
It does indeed. The ruining of everything does in fact happen.
Okay. Oh, well, we'll do this next little bit as theater of the mind. When you wake up, there's a somewhat irate looking noble in front of you. You are chained, hands and feet, and you feel some sort of collar on you, like some sort of. It's definitely not something you were wearing before you got here.
And it's not spiky like the last thing around my neck, right?
No, it's smooth. Roll me perception.
Cool. Another 18.
As you move side to side, it kind of follows you like a skin. It's there's enough tension for you to tell it's there. It's not constrictive, but it's also not hard against you, so to speak. With this irate-looking noble, the people he's currently looking irate at, one is a gnome, and he has on a set of spectacles with multiple different lenses in a pull up and down arrangement. And there is a gentleman who, well, you would recognize the symbols all over his clothing as very similar to the gentleman who knocked you unconscious, except his robes are a lot fancier.
Oh, okay.
Give me a quick perception check.
26.
Okay. Just from the quick look at them, the gentleman who's grumpy and in a bad mood appears to be a noble of some sort. He also has the seal of Caliphus on a medallion on around his neck. So you would guess him quickly to be a noble of various flavor and probably highly positioned. The gnome has more mechanical goodies around him and on his person than seems reasonable. And the wizard-looking guy practically glows with power. The noble looks over at you and says, "Why do I have to deal with such people? Fine. Let me explain this simply for you. What is around your neck, artificer, magister, explain. There's too much. Send this with the letter to them before they leave." At which point he storms off in a huff, and you are left there with the gnome and the magician.
I will eye the gnome because That's who looks like the more techie person. Right? Never mind.
Yeah, we can do that. What do you say?
So, this necklace is clearly magical. So am I in a more normal chain setup now? This is the rope and like hip thing.
Uh, yes, but the chain on you seems rather heavy.
Gotcha.
If you spare a glance for it, it appears to be the anchor chain for a ship,
Now
not
that's
just
interesting.
so. In case you happen to be a half ogre in disguise, you probably would not be able to break it.
I'm not, but it's good to know.
The two look at each other, and the gnome looks up with a smile on his face at the wizard. The wizard just kind of waves his hand as if to say, "Go ahead." And the gnome looks at you and says, "Hello. You wouldn't know my name, but I'm the chief artificer for the university here at Caiaphas. Uh, let me explain to you how things are. You've just volunteered to do something very important. And to make sure you stay volunteered, you have one of my creations around your neck. Well, it's not entirely mine. My good friend here, the Magister, helped too. He's the head of the mystical section at the university. Uh, do you want me to go through the entire description of what it is, or do you just want the quick and easy version?"
Could I have the quick version first? And then I wouldn't mind hearing the entire, but I'd like to have an understanding first.
Ah, you appear to be the intelligent sort. Well, the quick version is the collar that's around your neck. As soon as you get where your soon-to-be companions are, will become linked to a chest that has something that needs to be delivered to a location in the north of this great nation of ours. Well, not of yours, but of ours. And at which point it becomes linked. I already said that, didn't I? Oh, well, whenever I think of how I managed the mechanics of this device, it just still is so wonderful. I would explain it to you, but then I'd get off. Never mind. The short of it is, if you attempt to remove it by physical means, your head will be removed by a series of sharp blades. If you attempt to remove it by magical means, the spells that the Magister here has woven into the collar will not only kill you, but probably anyone standing relatively close. And the last part is, once it becomes linked, you don't want to stray more than about a mile from the chest, because if you do, well, let's see, both his part and my part activate. So the long and short, of it is, you're going to help deliver the chest. And for this, not only will you be paid, but what's the current term? Well, you'll receive amnesty for all the bad things you've done.
What's the pay like?
He looks at the mage. The mage kind of shrugs. I don't really know. I know at least it includes your life.
I mean, fair. But I'm assuming I will get this job done and be alive, and I want to plan for when that happens.
Uh, they look at each other for a moment, and the mage says, well, the key I sent north was in a chest with a few thousand gold. Maybe that's what your payment is.
How many compatriots?
Two at this point.
Okay. So, 800 to 1,000 gold. It's not the worst. I mean, I was wondering if this necklace was going to explode my head or cut it off. It appears either or.
Yes, exactly. The gnome pops up cheerfully.
Seeing as my life is on the line based on the haste of my current mission, I probably don't have time to fully ask you how you did it. I am back around here with amnesty at some time. I would be happy to listen.
Indeed. Well, come by the university. Oh, yes, you're right. Time. You have 30 days, is it? Yes, about 30 days.
For the whole delivery operation, correct?
Yes. And once you're there, the key for these collars will be available.
Sounds good. And I'm assuming if I go past the 30 days, both activate again. That would be most befitting.
Of course. It would be the same as though the link was broken between the collar and the chest.
Okay.
That being said, he reaches into his pockets and pulls out a envelope with a wax seal on it, hands it to you and says, when you get there, please share this with your compatriots.
Okay.
Magister, if you would. And do you look over at the Magister?
Oh, yeah. I'm assuming he's getting me out of the harbor chains, but just in case, I'd rather look.
He waves. You have spellcraft, correct? Or
yes, I do
something
have
similar? Please roll.
Future reference, because of Rogue and the stuff I took and whatnot, I have all skill strength.
Hey, me too.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
uh
I actually had to go back between last session and this session because I forgot that as of an update, rogues get either stealth or thievery for free. So I even have
Yeah.
that performance trained. If we ever need to do it.
I had everything.
Feels good.
Okay. As he waves his hand, a dimensional door opens underneath you.
Interesting.
And you fall through. Roll acrobatics. You roll and land on your feet, and you're on the docks. In front of Merle's, actually.
Good to know.
And there are two other people knocking on Merle's door. It's a bit after dusk, and as you fall, they turn around and look at you, and you notice they're wearing collars just like you. As it is the second bell past sundown, and you, Selimgar, and Dale are about to knock on Merle's door as he asked you to come back at this time before you leave. You feel a disruption behind you. As you quickly turn around to look, you see a young elf lady fall out of a rip in reality and land safely on the dock.
Okay. So as Selimgar hears this, as like it becomes obvious that someone is falling behind him, it's just like in an effortless flow from like casually standing to into wolf style, just like I haven't exactly flavored the words yet, but Selimgar begins reciting mantras to Aksha in Vudrani as I just like slip into wolf stance, then turn around and seeing that Lillian is similarly collared.
Collared.
I suppose just like I'll break out of the stance and move towards her and just, well, it seems we are not the only dogs heading north.
Greetings.
Selimgar will
You
look
are
her.
to be my business companions.
If that is what you wish to call it, yes. I'm gonna look Lillian up and down as like to like see if she's capable of defending herself and stuff like that, and try to figure out what she's good at.
Okay.
So I don't know, like if it's a check or
Roll me perception.
deal. Oh, character sheet. Probably. I think we all have the same +8 in perception.
I have that sweet 16 wisdom. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, fair. Curse my 18 con! Maybe I need to go to the boat. 21.
Yeah. You, Levi, what weapons do you... Well, one thing about this time, there's a light thud as your backpack lands on the pier beside you.
Oh, that's nice.
Not like far, but, you know.
Yeah.
So what weapons did you have?
A +1 rapier, +1 studded leather. Just a light crossbow.
Well, okay, you still have the armor on.
Cool.
But you know, the rapier and crossbow are there with the rest of your goods. And okay, so there you go. And Selimgar, you notice in one hand she has a letter, a sealed letter.
Okay. What is the letter, Avistani?
I will pop the seal and pull it out.
And
I
no
was told
traps were
it's
triggered.
well, if there were, I just because I didn't think anyone else would want it, took Trap Finder.
Oh, nice.
No, the trap has already well and truly been sprung.
No, yeah, fair. We don't need the second trap. The first trap was very effective.
The letter says simply, deliver this chest to Count Rosmiro. You will find him in the woods south of Castle Conquest. You will know him by this sign, and it has a picture of an eye in a circle.
Oh,
And that
neat. I know what that is from my time in Doomsday Dawn.
and that's the sum total of what you have.
Okay.
That's all that's on it.
Let me see if I can justify some meta knowledge real quick. Here is a lore underworld check. I think seems appropriate. Yeah. To try to identify the symbol. And I have 12.
Honestly,
I mean, if would lore underworld check like work?
you can try lore underworld. You can try
Society.
Yeah, try society.
All right, same mod. 24.
My bonuses for those two are the same.
Yeah.
In a world where everyone has the criminal background.
Well, I would say for both of you, you've seen things that use an eye, but this one looks a little different. There's no clear link to anything you've really seen. It doesn't look like it looks like it might be part of some sort of heraldry. It's possible it was, part of someone's coat of arms more than anything you've seen for criminal organizations.
Gotcha.
Fair enough. This symbol means nothing to me. Navrno! Come here! And I'll turn back and motion at Dale.
Okay.
What do you make of this symbol here?
Let me see. Well, I think I might know a little more about it than you.
That's just a little bit. Just by one.
But it's also the difference between
success
and a failure.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
I'll take it.
Okay. I will flavor it in the way that I think Dale would know it. You've heard of this group of people who lots of them are wizards, lots of them have unique and exotic tastes. They collect stuff from all over the planet. It seems like their organization name is something about an eye. I think it probably begins with P. something but yeah, they're not bad that you've heard of. They're just weird. And that's about all that comes to mind.
It's enough to confirm my suspicions. Good, but I shall not play the game.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is something that. The only thing I can think of is the first thing that comes to mind is something that's meta too. So neither here nor there.
I see. Well,
That of course was out of character.
Right.
well, if no one else is falling out of the sky to join us, I'm slipping into Mirrodin again. It never fails. Sealamgar will just turn back towards.
I have a question for the GM. How loud, like how hard did that backpack land? Is anything broken in it?
No, it I would say it dropped the equivalent of 6 inches.
That's fair.
Okay.
All the alchemical supplies shattered.
Yeah.
Those would be in my room still.
Fair.
Yeah.
Also, I want to note something for the GM as part of Dale's backstory. Whenever he sees I'm calling him Elu, but
Levi.
Levi. Whenever I see her, I am visibly I visibly scrunch my face and just like it's like and you can hear my growl like really loud. And then I haven't looked at her since. For the GM record, it's because Dale doesn't like elves very much. He's had a lot of bad dealings with them to the point where it's almost racist. So, but he's not going to just be overtly like that. That's the most you'll get out of him as far as like showing disgust and dislike.
Oh, fair enough.
Sealamgar will turn back towards Merle's door and knock on it.
Merle opens the door himself. There are no lights inside. He just steps out on. Well, you two did come back.
Of course.
Yeah, young Missy, what are you doing here?
Well, I was framed and woke up in this. Well, framed, taken to court, and then woke up with my wonderful new necklace. More of a brooch, really.
More of a collar. You're slaves now. You two know each other? Looking at Merle, looking at Lillian. Back at Merle.
Or work partners. To an extent, maybe not partners, but work associates.
Merle.
So I take it that you will be joining these two gentlemen?
Yes. Notably so.
Oh. Well, I guess that will mean you aren't going to be able to finish that next batch for me.
No. But I needed to stop by my room to pick up my supplies anyway. If you wouldn't mind sending someone to take your supplies back as I do so.
Okay. DM having a problem here. I forgot. How far away is the... Well, I'm going to make it
I was
easy
going
and
for
say it's
decently
outside.
cheap, man. So I would
Yeah.
assume it would be pretty close.
And I said it was down near the docks. So yes, it will be within a mile. So yes, we can do that. Boat's going to leave fairly soon. Well, Dale, he hands you a small scroll with multiple seals along the side. And on the outside is written a name, and it's written in it's written in a language I don't think you have.
No, I just have.
Because
You had what?
No, I
Common
just-
and Kelid?
Common and Kellish.
Ah, Kellish. Fair enough.
yeah. Okay. Does any one of you speak or have Aklo?
Nope. Unfortunately, I might be able to make an occultism check to identify that it is Aklo, but also I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm kind of brain farting what check it is to decipher script.
It sounds like society to me. It's what you use to forge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I guess I'll try the occultism check. I do not speak Aklo. My crazy otherworldly language I took was Necrol, but 21.
You would recognize the script as something you've seen with certain cults to old gods, elder gods.
I see.
Okay. But there, you don't, it's just a language to you. I wouldn't say there's a lot of deep significance. You've seen it before, but it's nothing your masters have seen fit for you to learn.
Absolutely. The Rixasha don't
Mind
care
if I roll
for
society
gods.
to see what I get out of it?
I'm sorry?
Go ahead, Levi.
Mind if I roll society to see what I can get out of it?
Go for it.
I'm gonna try the same. Decided to decipher script 17.
27.
Oh well, one of these things is 10 better than the other.
Yeah. Remind me that I don't like you, Levi. Or I don't like your...
I like you
My RNG
outside
is
the
my
game,
friend right now.
and obviously I explained why I don't in game.
Oh, yeah.
I like the new character a lot. The new character is very helpful. Gonna spit out so many batches of Silver Sheen for us.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Lillian, you have seen this script before. It was in conjunction with this. Okay. DM timeout. Where is your character from?
My biggest thing is I don't know Galarian and surrounding well enough to answer that question properly.
Well, truthfully,
Okay.
an elf could be from anywhere. Technically,
Right.
they all live in like Kyanin, but there's nothing saying you couldn't have been born somewhere else, especially given the being raised as an orphan, that sort of thing.
And wandering since then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
What,
everywhere, man.
what I will say then is that you were in your wanderings. You moved through the city of Absalom at one point. And while you were there was a big scare, big to-do about a group of cultists who everyone said was trying to bring the end of the world and summon somewhat some deity from the forgotten depths of time, something about a king wearing yellow, the Yellow King or something like that.
Well, here we go again, Josh.
Hey guys,
You're fine. You did nothing wrong.
trying.
And you're doing great. I'm just saying that because Josh and I have fought Haster
Oh, that's right. We have.
many, many moons ago.
Yeah.
Well, I GM'd Haster and they killed Haster, but I was there.
But
That's a t-shirt right there. I was there when Haster was slain.
Bright yellow t-shirt.
but you recognize the script as something you saw in regards to that group, but then again, these you had made some you were making certain alchemical items and some poisons. The one you remember was Keitelish oil, and they, it just was one of those deals that, they were strange individuals. Any cult that wants to bring out the end of all days.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's the most you recognize of it.
Seems reasonable.
The end of days?
Yeah.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
I more meant that that's what I would get out of it. But
Yeah, I know. I'm funny.
Well, see, now out of game, I'm wondering how that relates to Grotus, because that's his whole thing, is he's the going to be there at the end of days.
Oh, Grotus. So as we're trying to go over this, and it becomes very obvious that Lillian is much more, is putting a lot more together than Selim Gurz. I'll just look up and just, well, obviously you understand much more of this than I do. How do you know this? Where are you from? I'm sorry, how are you called?
I'm Lillian. And yourself?
Selim Gurz will put his hands together like this and bow. I don't know if my camera didn't catch that. Like this, and then bow, like at hands at chest level.
To trust my internet, I have to not be getting video from you guys, so...
But the Twitch, Levi.
Oh, where?
And the YouTube, and the Jason and Josh. I am called Selimgar. I am on my way to Magnimar, actually, and then unfortunately our master, and as he says that, like, there's a look of disgust that just kind of washes over Selimgar as I tap. I won't touch the collar for fear of side effects, but up, down, on, like, the top and bottom of it. Brought us to heal.
Yeah.
You said you had supplies here?
I've been in town for nearly a week. I'm a bit of a crafter.
I see. And what is it that you craft?
Well, a variety of things. This town seems to like its holy water and silver sheen, so that's been my work for as of late.
That it does. With the rampant vampire and werewolf problem, I cannot say I do not disagree. Actually, it's quite fortunate you've come along then, because Dale and I were looking to get as much silver sheen as we possibly could, as, well, we'll be traveling... there's Murin again. We'll be traveling past the vampire nest, if I understand it correctly.
Good to know.
So I'm gonna turn back to
Well,
Dale and just Avistani. Do you have a problem? You have said nothing.
Oh, I don't have a problem at all. Just as long as you keep pointy ears away from me.
I also took
Me and you could have handled this alone. We didn't need her around. But in any case, I'll keep my opinions to myself, because except for the fact that we've been standing here for a while and we ain't got the time to do that. We need to get a move on.
Selimgar will look at Lillian to see how she takes that and what she does.
I'd like to point out that I am specifically a keen-eared elf, so they are pointy as can be.
Well done.
So that amused me a little.
Just full
However-
World of Warcraft night elf. Just
Be cautious with my ears, or you'll stab yourself.
They're actually natural weapons that deal a D3 points of piercing damage. They're considered secondary weapons.
However, meh about responding to the racial slur, you know.
Fair enough.
I have more important things than him to deal with right this second,
Okay.
like my crafting gear.
Like your crafting gear. Well, we are all part of the same cast now, regardless of where we may have been in a past life. It's still just visibly uncomfortable anytime talking of where I am or what has befallen me as comes across the conversation table. However, Avistani is correct. We have been here far too long and we are on a clock.
And it's about this point that Merle's minions return from emptying your room, Lillian.
Wonderful.
And they have everything there. Merle will walk back over to you, say, all right, it's going to be a couple days trip up to
Thrushmore. We were going to Thrushmore.
Yes, up to Thrushmore. I assume you're not going to be wanting these components.
Okay, so we're going to be riding on a boat for a couple days, right?
Yes.
Asks the crafter.
So,
yeah.
Okay. That is like a knuckle crack. How much do I think I can get done in that time? Last time, 30 gold's worth got me pretty solidly.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, while I'm going to be having some spare time, I might buy some more for my own building. Seems like we'll need it.
Indeed.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough, young lady. Would you want to just buy what is right there? Or would you be looking for more or different?
Let's see. Well, my compatriots, is there anything other than silver sheen and holy water you might be wanting to have?
Actually, Lillian, I was wondering, you see, when I fight, I have no weapon. I fight with, and I'll pick my hands up and visibly crack knuckles. And I was wondering if perhaps there was some way you could make something to carry the silver sheen other than perhaps a vial, something I could put in my hands and crush in such a way that I do not cut myself, but can quickly apply what I need.
I suppose if needed, it could be just in a... I'm thinking like like a balloon of it that you like pop.
It's not the worst idea.
I'm just trying to think. Either that or like a little pouch with just like silver sheen poured into it
Yeah, that could work.
that you just reach your hands into.
One of the people who brought Lillian's gear, there you hear him chuckle.
What is so funny? I'm looking at him like out of the corner of my eye.
When you look at him, he is a half orc, about 7 foot tall, and he works all day moving crates. And he reaches into a pocket and pulls out a pair of brass knuckles that are made from silver.
Oh.
Or at least they're silver and shiny on the outside. Why would you want to get your hands dirty? Puts it back in and takes another crate from the back of a covered horse with a nervous-looking driver into the back of the warehouse.
Okay, so as he's going for the crate, Sealamgar is going to walk up and put his hand on top of the crate. And just, well, I can show you.
Okay. I was gonna look into seeing. You probably have a hand wrapped Mighty Fist, correct?
Yes, I do. Expert hand wraps.
Okay.
And
I was
way too
wondering
many
if those
potency
hand
crystals to
wraps-
activate.
Yeah. Well, okay. As your GM speaking, are you looking to pick a fight with the guy who is much larger than you?
Yes, but not to kill him. Just to make a point. Maybe in trouble
Okay.
now. But he's Sealamgar has trained for all of his life at the House of the Second Breath, and his fighting style has just been called into question. He's not gonna take that sitting down.
I'm gonna finish up the negotiations with Merle while he does that.
Okay. About this point, Merle looks over. Hey, Hamfist, get back to work, as the half-orc starts grumbling. And he just looks at you. Next time. And picks up a crate that probably weighs as much as you and starts walking it into the back.
Sealamgar is just gonna memorize every detail of the half-orc's figure and facial structure and everything. So when we're back in Caliphus and we don't have slave callers, we can talk. And then we'll turn around, smile at Merle, smile at Merle. Oh, forgive me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ship's docked now, so y'all can go in when y'all want. You know what, little lady? Do you plan on coming back this way? Because if you do, I can use you.
I'll have other business to attend here, as well as working with you, so I certainly do.
Then tell you what, I'll give you this. Call it 10 gold.
Okay.
That work for you?
So 10 gold worth of supplies. Give it all of those supplies for 10 gold.
Yes, all the supplies that he had given you to make your next batch with for 10 gold. which would be,
Wow. Quite a steal.
yeah, it's a better deal than not. But then again, he's made some good profit off of you already, so he's willing to make a good deal to create good feelings in the future.
That sounds quite good to me. If
Well,
I finish this without losing my head, I'll be happy to come back and get some work in that'll make it worth it for you.
I don't know, Missy. You seem not like the type who would lose her head, but be that as it may, an eyebrow of his raises up to white fluffy eyebrow and white fluffy, somewhat thinning hairline meet. I'll just take your word for that, young lady.
I
But
appreciate it.
he reaches out a hand. If you come back, I'll have work for you.
Sounds good. I will set a platinum piece in his hand.
Fair enough. When you whenever you reach port, Thomas d'Aquitaine is the guy's name. It's on the outside of the scroll, but it's in I write it in a script most people don't know. But if you ask anyone at the docking guild, they'll be able to point you in the right direction. And if there was nothing else you wanted to take with you, y'all can go ahead and load up.
Let's see. I'm trying. Okay. Out of game, what's some other general good supplies we think we should take?
Josh and I did a lot of supply
Rations.
buying. We have all that stuff taken care of at last session. We did that.
Okay, but I also made a lot of money before this session, so I went from like 50 spending gold to 100 spending gold.
Oh.
With buying this.
Okay.
Like, I have 101 gold left over after all of my exchanges and buying and whatnot so far.
Oh God! All right. I'm gonna bring up the magic item table then.
So I thought you might want to look into that because having 100 gold not going to us surviving seemed a little inefficient.
Yeah, that's fair. I only have expert hand wraps. I don't have +1 hand wraps. I have a lot of potency crystals, but like I'll only ever be able to use 5 of those. Yeah, because the only magic item I have is my bracers. That's the only thing I'm invested in. Other than that,
how long does the crystal last?
For 1 attack, used as a free action when the attack hits.
Gotcha.
And that would be it'd be a flat 100 gold. Other than that, what could we use? How much gold do you have in total on you?
I meant that 100.
Just literally a flat 100.
Well, I mean 101 and 8 silver.
Okay, Josh, how much money do we have left?
You have at least 30 gold from the pouch.
We have 50.
So 100. So we have a flat 150 gold. That could buy a disrupting rune for somebody's weapons. That could buy a lot of stuff. Oh man.
I was productive.
Yes, you were. I don't know what a lot of these weapons do, or a lot of these magic items do. It could buy. None of us are proficient with shields, but it could buy an expert heavy wooden sturdy shield. Oh, well, there you go. An expert heavy wooden sturdy shield wouldn't be the worst at 140. The shadow rune as well for your.
But I already have because of the way isn't an expert light just not specifically sturdy? Like a level. Was that 2 or 3?
I mean, I'm looking at an expert heavy wooden sturdy shield as a 5th level treasure. What else could we get?
Okay.
A dagger of
So I already
venom
have
for
an
either of the
expert like
rogues. What was that actually? Yeah, we're 10 gold short of the dagger of venom. Never mind, I lied. What else could we get? I don't know what ghoul hide armor is, but that sounds fun. What does that do?
Wait, a weapon potency +1 is 65 gold.
Yeah, it's different for the hand wraps though. A +1 hand wraps of Mighty Fist is 100. Can I put a +1 weapon potency on an already purchased hand wrap of Mighty Fist?
Yes, but considering that the ship will be leaving in a couple hours and it's in the night, are you going to ask Merle and see if he can do it? I would guess, honestly, that at this point it would be a bit of a rush job.
Okay. In that
to
case,
get it done before you
in that
leave.
case, we might be better off just buying buying the hand wraps of Mighty Fist +1 ourselves, or we could pick up a bag of holding type 1, which could solve the problem of moving that chest around.
That's true, and it would be nice for my repair kit and alchemist tools.
Let me take a looky-loo here.
But just thinking, if they went to so much trouble of doing the thing with the collars, don't you think they put something on the chest to make sure we can't just bag of holding it or transport it? You know,
Only one way to
with
find
the
out.
bag of holding trigger our collars.
It's how close? Ooh, can I roll an
Because you are
Arcana?
technically putting it in a different.
Into
I
a
mean,
pocket
would we know
dimension.
that though? That we're putting it in a different plane of existence, essentially.
Quick to the
That's why I'm rolling
Arcana
Arcana.
checks. Yeah, on it. That's a good call, Josh. Well done. I would not have thought of that until we all died. Horrible deaths. All right, +6 from Tommy. Boom. Got a 10. So good at that one.
Bags of holding hold things,
Yes.
and you don't have to carry the weight.
It also would carry a full 25 bulk. It could carry the cart too.
So, with the 19, would that let me know if we would count as more than a mile away from it?
You want the? I'm trying. Do you want the game answer or the GM answer?
Both.
Yeah, I like both.
Oh, where's all my data?
Well, I asked because I'm not exactly sure how you would work it around the way that magic works, but you're basically removing it from its current dimension and putting it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I honestly, if you had put it in, I would have said that the collars would have lost signal and
we're all died.
gone off.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so the bag of holding's out, and Josh is a genius.
Which is a now that doesn't mean that a bag of holding wouldn't help y'all with everything else.
What else could we buy?
Yeah.
But the point is that we're not like suiciding ourselves. We,
Right.
Correct.
That's
So,
which is a very good thing, and I need to put that down as you figured out a specific point.
Yeah, I think we need to just treat the collars and the chest as don't touch, don't fool with anything, period.
I concur. Okay, so
sadly, also agree.
failing that.
Do we have a cart, right?
Yes, we have a pony and a cart to carry.
Yes.
Okay.
150 gold
I
gets
would,
us a lot of Necklace of Fireballs. That is one thing.
Tommy just wants to roll 70 dice on the floor like he did that one.
Yeah, dude, he's so right. But other than
Yes.
that, there's 150 gold is
Like a +1. A +1 is 100 gold, right?
correct. And if we purchase that, I don't know what we're selling at, but like I said, I bought a lot. I forget exactly. I bought 20 potency crystals because I couldn't afford both my bracers of armor and that. I had a +1 weapon.
Gotcha.
So I would be willing to sell. Oh, that didn't happen. I would be willing to sell all 20 of the potency crystals. If we're selling it half, we would make 20 gold back off the 100, which isn't, well, that's nowhere near enough, but we get a little money back.
Yeah,
I don't know what else we'd buy.
and I'm
that's the
decently
thing.
productive, and from what I understand, the job is paying pretty well.
Yeah, I think we got the money thing handled.
That might be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I would if we're doing this, I would still prefer those and like your current expert hand wraps to be sold back if I'm buying you a +1 set.
Deal. Oh yeah, I could sell the expert hand wraps too, couldn't I? That I did not think of that. Yes, sir. So the expert hand wraps would sell for, where is that even? I'm so good at reading. That would get me. I cannot find it to save my life right now. I can find. Oh no, that's not it. Damn it. Is it really a level 1 item? It might have been.
I thought experts generally level 2 items.
Level 2. Okay, so it would get us back half of 35 gold, assuming we're selling for half.
That's 17.5.
So 17 gold, 5 silver, and then so 37 gold and 5 silver back, and I get a +1 hand wraps of Mighty Fist. Seems good to me.
Okay. That sounds good, GM?
If that's the route y'all want to go, y'all can do that.
Never got to use any of those.
He
crystals, but I'm good.
He just happens to have that item in stock.
Yes.
I appreciate it, Merle.
Thank you so much, Lillian. As I begin wrapping the hand wraps and start in Vudrani, just mantras.
All right.
With the rest of the gold, I can't really think of anything that we don't like, anything we're dying for necessarily.
No, y'all are.
Well, 80 gold for a bag of holding doesn't sound bad. We just don't put the chest in it.
Yeah, we can put my repair kit,
the cart,
and well, when we don't need it, yeah, the cart.
Yeah, that's our new parking spot. Well, then no, it is not, because the cart carries the chest, so that would be bad. But it's still like that's for more loot. So yeah, seems good. 80 gold a bag of holding.
Okay.
And I think anything else we could probably pick up on the road.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
That would put me, like, if I spend 30 gold, you take the bag for 50 to get the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm. Seems good.
Right, because you had... Yeah. If we come across places where we can buy things, I have 9 gold and 3 silver left.
Okay, cool. So we've got 59 gold and 3 silver. And I say we head to Thrushmore.
Yep.
I can't think of anything else we need.
Sounds like a plan.
So
Okay.
Sealamgar will go ahead. If the boat's in dock, Sealamgar will go ahead and jump up in it.
Y'all are able to get on now and begin your trip to the north.
One thing I'd like to note, as I'm getting on the boat, I will take off my hood to show my my face. Probably you guys have seen it. You guys have seen it before. Whenever the collars were being put on. And if I don't, and GM, this will be up to you whether I kept it on when they put the collars on or not. But and if they didn't keep it on, then I would put it back on before we get on the ship. But I'm wearing a mask
Okay.
because as a worshiper of Norgorber, I would be wearing a mask.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay. I would say it was taken off when you were collared, but as soon as you were let go, you would be able to put it back on.
Right.
It would probably have been hanging around your neck by a strap, your straps on it.
Right.
So
generally, people who worship Norgorber, they don't take those masks off unless they're in private.
Sure.
right.
And I've been doing some lore digging while we've
Lillian
been
was being introduced.
Yes.
right, because we are in Ustalav, and that means we're going to be passing by a place that's very important to people who serve Norgorber, and I plan on Dale would definitely have some business there.
Ooh, shiny.
Specifically,
Very much so.
Let's see, real quick. Specifically, I'm talking about see, where's it at? I'm trying to find it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The Anaphexia. Yeah, the Anaphexia, which is at the Monastery of the Veil.
Depending on the route y'all choose, you could go right by there.
Yeah,
but
that's for later, obviously. But yeah, he's definitely is aware of and involved with that group. Maybe not higher up, but like at least knows them and has had dealings in the past.
Well, that definitely sounds like a plan for y'all. Mm-hmm. The boat goes out of dock and begins sailing north in the Gulf. Or let me rephrase that. I believe technically it's Avalon Bay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, Avalon Bay towards Thrushmore. I will say it takes 2 plus D4 days. So it takes 5 days given weather and everything else. Anyone have anything they're specifically wanting to do?
Crafting checks.
Okay.
Oh, wait. That next one should have been plus 12 as well.
Okay. You know what? Give me one more. Okay.
Wow. So 23, the second one would be a 21.
One.
Because I didn't put in the plus 12.
Right. Okay. So with a 20, that's a standard success. You make 20 of silver sheen. That's a failure. You, while working on that's 3 days. And gotcha. I will say for the first set, you ruin some of the components. The second one, so you are down to...
Wait, is the 21 a failure?
Oh, I'm sorry. 21 is a success.
Okay, because I got 2 successes,
Oh,
like
yes.
23, 21, 16.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just say you get 20 of each in
And
your time on the boat. What else were you looking to do anything else?
I think for now, 20 of both of those seems good. After long days
Yeah.
doing that,
Yeah.
just because I have the skill feat Hobnobber, I'm gonna go around and chat up people,
Yeah.
see what it's like around on the boat.
With that last one, I will say you have managed to create a fairly sturdy but breakable sack that Silumgar could use to coat his hand wraps if he wishes.
Sweet.
So you've invented a toothpaste tube.
Nice.
And now
Silver
you're the
sheen
richest person in Galarian. The Silver Sheen toothpaste. It's for your animal
Hey,
companion.
because Wolfang.
He
Wolfang
has
Fist.
turned into Jeff from Earthbound. He can take broken things and turn them into bottle rockets.
Sure.
I was just thinking that's one way to get a grill.
Yeah,
But
it is.
yes, the old guy comes up with the rap culture reference.
Well
I'm
done.
just imagining a animal totem barbarian who actually gets a bite attack using my silver sheen toothpaste.
Just hold up. Rage. The toothbrush is actually considered a weapon, so it's anathema. You have to put it on and then rage.
The way it tastes, rage might be easy.
Yeah,
So
I can certainly imagine.
So at this point, 5 days pass, and y'all end up in the lovely town of,
Rushmore.
wait for it, Thrushmore. And I shall grab that. And it does not want to move. Ah, there we go. Well, there's Thrushmore, or at least part of it. So you get there and get off the boat. The sailors are unloading your pony and cart. What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna make a quick perception check as we jump off the boat here. See what I don't see. Oh, boom. Let's see what's going on in Rushmore. Shabam. Well, okay then. I think that's the first fumble.
How about I take a look?
How about that? Silumgar's too busy meditating.
As you get off the boat, you notice some people who quickly disappear to look like they're other members of your order.
Okay. Do I know of any other Vudrani from the House of the Second Breath that might be in Usulov off the top of my head?
Considering that there were about 6 of them, no, doesn't ring any bells. But then again, you aren't necessarily part of the strategic planning upper echelon cell.
That's fair.
So,
okay, then in that case, Silumgar is just going to. Well, no, he won't. He won't just start shouting in Vudrani. I'm gonna follow him. I see them. Everyone else is looking around, and like I double take, and there's people who look like they're of my cut and nationality, and just kind of take off in their direction.
Okay. They're kind of huddled together. When you walk up to them, Levi and Josh, What are y'all doing during this time?
I am putting my hood down as soon as I leave the boat, and I'm shaking my head, just like, what is it? What is this servant of the master or master's doing now? And just walk slowly in the direction he's going. I need to do a knowledge religion check to see on whether I know that typically people that follow Rory and people that follow my god tend to be competitive. So knowledge religion, yeah.
Shabam!
So yeah, I pretty much know that that the reason that Norgorber and Aurori have a rivalry is because Norgorber as far as servants of Aurori are concerned, Norgorber cheated the Starstone test, and Norgorber's followers are like, no, he didn't, and so they like to have a not unfriendly rivalry, but like just kind of a pissing contest. Like just I'm better than you, and we did it first, and did it before y'all did, and like two brothers arguing basically.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, what is this servant of the master and master's doing now? We got work to do.
I have to wonder if a natural
Yeah.
20 doesn't also tip Dale off to the fact that Silumgar is not an Auroran.
Yeah. Let's, and Dale, what I will say to you is there are things about what he does and how he does them that don't feel right for a follower of Irori. It's, if it wasn't for the fact that you've obviously spent a lot of time thinking about the differences between Irori and Nordberger and their followers.
Yeah, and I would have had 5 days to be. I would have been sitting by myself stewing on things like that. Because in particular, I follow the Reaper of Reputation, so I'm all about learning secret knowledge.
Yeah, there's I don't know how common his sect would be in this. The one thing you can tell is,
well, no, servants of Norgorber, they don't have any temples at all. They're generally not viewed with disdain by most of the good aligned gods, and so we're considered cultists basically. Only in Absalom are we tolerated, and that's because that's where the Starstone is. And
so what I would say is, you can tell he's not a follower of Aurori, but you can see where you would think that he's kind of trying to give that impression, because people definitely would be likely to draw the wrong conclusion.
Right. Well, I'm just going to keep that information myself, because that's the other part of it, is that if you the secret knowledge is supposed to stay secret.
Right.
Like, for example, the people that actually serve in the monastery for him, they have to have their tongues removed before they leave.
Yeah.
And they're restored whenever they come back. Essentially, they cannot spill information that's secret. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely have a philosophy of, keeping that information, any information myself that I don't absolutely have to reveal.
Fair enough. So you're following him? Are you going to try to get...
I'm going to follow him, but slowly. I don't want to look like I'm just following him on purpose. I want to I'm aware of the distance I have to stay near him because of the chest.
Right.
So it's partly that, and partly it gets me away from the pointy ears.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, I don't verbally say that. I said it once, and I'll keep it to myself otherwise. But that's generally he's just looked back as like, yep.
So
I hope they don't try and travel too far. So I see both of them
we
walking
learned at
off
the
somewhere.
beginning of session 1 that we actually,
Yeah.
Josh and I both forgot the don't move more than a mile away from the chest clause. So I'm pretty sure Zealamgar will hold that very close in his thoughts.
I would say that that's something that under most circumstances y'all will be pretty sure not to mess up.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Tommy, have you gone over like in your? I don't keep up with your Wednesday worship as much as I should. I'm going to rectify that today when I play PlayStation. But have you covered Norgorber at all?
We have not done Norgorber yet. Norgorber is one of the very few core deities. I need to do Lamashu, Norgorber, Rovagog. I think that's all the core deities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just not trying to be pushy, but like
I mean, literally, that's
I will
part of
definitely
you.
look
You being a
forward to it.
patron, you
Yeah.
have that power.
Yeah.
You have the power to be pushy, and it will. The Tulis video is going to come out tomorrow because I haven't.
I will recommend it just on the basis that because I'm playing someone of that, and it might be helpful for people that are watching it
Deal.
if they get like a full on.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Yes, sir. You've cut mine in front of the Furies. Next up will be Norgorber.
Yeah. And I'll actually make a request for the one after that for Lamashtu.
Lamashu actually is on the list, but she's just cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ahead. Hooray! Someone will be happy.
Yeah, that would be good. Like, because then you cut. That would be all the ascended, right?
I believe.
that are
Yeah,
covered?
yeah. That Caden's been done. Iomede's been done. And Rory's been done. Then Norgorber's the last one. Yeah, and Nephis has been done as well.
Okay. So Lillian, what are you doing?
Well, I was gonna go in town and look for a cartographer to get a map to help us get a solid idea of where we were gonna go. But I'm not certain what path my compatriots are currently going.
Like I said,
So-
I'm slowly following behind Selamgar.
So, I'm gonna keep myself, the cart, and whatnot at the dock because, at the very least, there's a decent amount of people here. If anyone went for it, it'd be obvious. I can fend it off. Are there any like paper? Like kids trying to get money by like, hey, do you need me to do this for you?
Yeah, you should be able to find someone at the docks who can give you directions. What
I
are
was
you
more looking for like an errand boy.
Okay. There's a young halfling lad who's literally, a 10-year-old equivalent to a halfling.
Oh, my.
So he's not the biggest thing, but yes, what can I do for you?
Well, I was wondering where there might be a map of the local area, maybe a bit wider.
A map. Old Tom makes maps. He lives in the city. Would you like me to take you there?
Well, normally, I would love for that. I need to stay at the port for right now. Do you know about how much he normally charges for maps?
No, lady, I don't. I could go ask.
Well, for that, for going, asking, coming back, talking with me, here's a silver.
Yes, ma'am. I'll run right there right now and ask him, and I'll be back as quick as I can.
Very good.
And the silver disappears, and he breaks towards the settlement at a run.
Sounds good.
So Silamgar, you're up to the people. They are huddled around talking to each other. Give me a perception check again.
Alrighty, here we go. 18.
How tall is your character?
Oh, somewhere in the lower reaches of 6 foot.
Okay. No one in this group is taller than about 5'6". They're all considerably shorter than you.
Okay.
So how do you address them?
Do they notice me? I'm not trying to hide or anything.
No, they are kind of huddled up, speaking quietly to each other.
Okay. And I don't recognize anybody?
No. Do you try to get a glimpse of someone inside unobtrusively?
Yeah, I think I will.
No, I'll call the 18 for that too. The one thing you notice is, as you kind of stand up straighter and kind of see what you can see, is a very bushy red beard on the person. You can see big bushy braided beard.
Okay.
Underneath.
Is that I guess my next question then is it common for there to be Vudrani dwarves? Because that seems to be what I've stumbled upon.
There are dwarves in Vudra.
Okay.
But I would say their ethnicity or their phenotype tends to mirror that of in Vudra, they look Vudrani.
So they wouldn't have like crimson beards.
Yes, they're going to be. They would be darker skinned. You would expect.
Makes sense.
You would expect them to be a shorter, stockier version of a Vudrani male.
Okay, sure. So here's another perception check used as a sense motive. Comes down to a 12. Man, comes down to a 12 over their deception DCs to see if 1 + 1 = 3 here.
You know what? I'll just do it this way.
I think that means roll. Yes!
About this point, one of them notices you looking over at them, and says something in Dwarven. Do you understand Dwarvish?
I do not. I've got Common, Vudrani, Necrol, and Infernal.
Well,
I'm in
when
danger!
he says something, they quickly, as a group, turn around, face you, and As they do, you see hands going, the cloaks come forward as they move around, and you see arms moving under cloaks,
Okay.
like they're grabbing or holding things.
Silumgar will drop into wolf stance and begin mantras to Aksha.
Do I see this go on? Am I following close enough to be able to see that something's happening to
Man, I
You
really
see them,
hope
Gar?
so. I really, really hope so. Silumgar is not going to let this blasphemy stand, but he'd rather not let it stand 6-1.
Okay,
I know
I
a
want
perception
both
check,
of-
but
both of you give me a perception check.
Alrighty. Don't fumble. Another 12. That might be a fumble.
By the way, the symbols on the cloaks that you thought were in Vudrani are clearly decorative. They're not Vudrani or anything about second breath.
Any kind, no language at all, just like just decorations that might be confused for the language in like a passing glance.
Yeah, it's one of those. Exactly how did I mistake that for my language?
Well, I'd facepalm, but I'm in wolf style right now, and that's a D8 of piercing
yeah.
damage.
And Josh, you would see that the dynamic just completely changed, and that the group that he went up to is looking very defensive, like physically someone just snuck up on us. So this group of 6 is now turned around facing him completely. And the one of the ones on the end says in common, "What do you want, long legs?"
Silumgar is only saying mantras to Aksha right now and does not respond.
I'm gonna get close enough to diplomacy, saying, "This is you're circled my ally. I want to know what's going on."
Well, they're not in a, just to clarify to you, they were in a huddle together. He walked up behind them and was kind of peeking in. So they've spread out kind of in a semicircle.
Okay,
But,
that's fine.
they haven't trapped him in by any stretch of the imagination at the moment, but
Okay. Fine. I'm going to maintain what I said for the most part. Just,
just clarification.
This is my ally, what's going on, and I say it with a diplomacy, not intimidate.
Yeah. So this nosy one belongs to you?
He doesn't belong to me. I don't own him. But he is allied with me. He is an ally of mine for the time being. We have an arrangement. I'll say it like that. And I hope that you are not prepared to try to cause him harm, because that would be bad for you.
Look, our business is our business. Encourage your friend here to keep his nose out of ours. Because if he comes sneaking up behind one of us again, I don't care whose friend he is. Do we understand each other?
I will say, as a servant of Norgorber, who also keeps secrets, I sympathize and respect your position, and I will caution my friend about doing something like this in the future. And I bow my head slightly.
Ooh.
See,
I'm not-
like my character,
Yeah.
he doesn't have
Yeah.
any problem telling people who he serves, but he did as far as what his
No.
other knowledge but he has no problem like just saying,
Yeah.
"Yep, I am. Do something about it."
Well, that's my concern, is because most dwarves are not. To be completely honest, Selimgar completely misidentified this group.
I had
That's what
imagined.
this was his critical failure. These are other death cult assassins from my homeland. They're just really short with strange colored beards.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of what the reaction of a group of dwarves who venerate Torag
Oh my.
think
I
of
missed the mark pretty
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. Again, the good aligned deities do not trust him and generally don't deal
Yeah.
with him at all.
Mhm.
Norgorber in general is just neutral. It's just like,
Yeah.
I'll deal with you if
Yeah.
eventually it helps me, but otherwise, do whatever you want.
Yeah. Okay. The one who was speaking with you looks at you, spits on the ground, and says, "Take your friend and get away from us."
I will give Selimgar a look. Just I'm not gonna physically make him leave, but just like and I'm gonna just like
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, if are they still at weapons?
They haven't drawn that. They haven't pulled any weapons out from underneath their cloaks. Let's just say it that way.
Okay. Well, I
They
hear
are
them.
not.
Obviously, a mistake has been made, so Selimgar will leave Wolf Stance and just say nothing. And I'm not going to turn and walk away, but I'll start walking away with my eyes still on him.
You get some sour looks in return, and they kind of look at each other, and there are things being muttered in Dwarven, but as a group, they go further. They take their business elsewhere as well.
Okay, fair enough.
Their interest is not in. You're not necessarily high on their level of interest.
Makes sense. Okay. So after they're like out of line of sight, I'll just look over at Dale and just forgive me. I mistook them for people from my homeland. Then they turned on me when I got too close, and well, I'm afraid my first thought was the slaying of blasphemers. It will not happen again, I promise.
What you do is your business. I'm just I know from personal experience that they like me, like our, they're also like their secrets. And any case, it's behind us. Let's find the elf and get where we need to go.
I agree. And that probably is not the worst place in the world to call it for the night. Now that we have to fight 6 dwarves, though I would have enjoyed it and then I would have died. But hey, it is what it is. So thank you guys on Twitch and YouTube for watching. Levi, Josh, Jason, thank you guys so much for hanging out. It has been a blast. but there's ravioli waiting for me downstairs. So I must go find the formuoli. Be sure to like and subscribe for more sweet Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition videos. Say bye, guys.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Peace.